5 minutes to show. Please find a seat. Please, everybody take a seat. It's 5 minutes to show. Please take your seats. If you are standing on the runway, please take your seats. Please take your seats. Runway. Please, everybody, take your seats. The show's about to begin. Please take your seats. Thank you. The show's about to start. Clear the runway. Please take seats. Please take your seats for the show. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here today, and please welcome President of the Service Employees International Union, April Verrett. April is wearing a tashi today. Welcome, April.
Okay, wait, hold on. I got you. Okay, nope, there you go. Thank you. Good morning. Damn, y'all look good. Woo. But you got to tell me I look good. Thank y'all. I am April Verrett, and I am the proud president of SEIU. And y'all know what it is, but we are a powerful union that brings together millions of workers to build better lives and chart the path to the future that we all deserve. Yes. So every year, the first Monday in May, the Met Gala tells a story about who matters, who gets seen, who gets celebrated. Well, this year, we decided to center us, to make our, We decided to make ourselves the protagonists, the heroes of our story, to celebrate ourselves and to live our joy out loud. And here's why. Because culture does not come from the billionaires. Culture does not come from boardrooms. It comes from the people who profit. I'm sorry, it does not come. It ain't that. It does not come from those who profit and exploit our labor. Culture comes from the people. It comes from the Lenape people who on this ground had a trading post. It comes from the working class meat packers who gave this place its name. It comes from our LGBTQIA plus siblings who created community right here. That's right, I see you. Culture comes from the creatives and the designers who keep this place vibrant. It comes from the hands that stitch the garments. It comes from the workers who move the packages, from the caregivers who hold communities together, from the people who make every little thing run. And that's why we're here, because labor is art. And labor is art, not just today, not just on this stage, every single day. Now, let's be real about the moment that we're in, y'all. It's heavy. Some days it feels like we are going to be crushed by the weight of it all. Voting Rights Act torn to shreds. ICE agents terrorizing our communities. Our sons and daughters are sent to fight unjust wars on behalf of cowards. And y'all, the cherry on top of this shit Sunday is that our paychecks don't stand a chance to cover the cost of MAGA's America. But look, they can attack our rights, they can rewrite the rules to give themselves and their cronies even more advantages, but what they cannot do is break us. We built this culture. We are the culture. And our culture and our joy has always outlasted tyranny. It has always outlasted corruption. It has always outlasted oppression. Those foot soldiers during the civil rights movement, they walked themselves straight into violence, but they did it showing up clean. Heads held high. Sharp as a tack, as my mama would say. Dignified. And the Pachucos in Southern California, they showed out in their zoot suits, did they not? Clean, defiant, rebellious, setting their own terms. And right here in New York, the B-boys in the 70s and 80s that changed not just fashion here in this city, but around the world. And the mod youthquake, punk, ballroom, Vogue, none of it was just about appearances. It was about power, as everything is. It was about power. That was a declaration. You don't get to define us. That is who we come from. That is who we are. And I'll be damned, we're not going to be defeated and we're not going to play small. You cannot steal our joy. You didn't give it to us, and you can't take it away. So yes, our job is to fight. Our job is to organize, to push back against every single attempt to silence and sideline us. But our job is also to live our joy out loud. Our job is to hope. Our job is to dream. Our job is to never forget that this shit is ours, that we are beautiful, that we are enough just the way that we are. And we fight, we live our joy out loud every day. And as God and all of y'all is my witness, I'm going to make sure it's my mission that we do it with confidence and swag. That we going to show up, show out, and we going to put that shit on. Right? We going to put that shit on no matter what the state of the world is. Because here's the truth. They can, come on, teleprompter guy. They can try to take our rights. They can try to redraw the lines. They can try to control the systems, but they will never, ever be able to replicate the brilliance, the creativity, the resilience of the people they are trying to hold down. So this ball without billionaires is not just about fashion. It is about power. It's about telling the truth. That people who sew and care and drive and cook and clean and secure and those that create are the ones who make everything possible. Labor is art. We are art. So let's go get it.
Please welcome your esteemed hosts for today's Ball Without Billionaires, global fashion editor and stylist, Gabrielle Karifa Johnson, and teleprompter guy. And from Ava Elementary, she is an actress, comedian, producer, advocate, and SAG-AFTRA union leader, Lisa Ann Walters.
Thank you so much, and good morning, New York City.
Woo!
Woo! My name is Lisa Ann Walter, and I am so damn proud to be here with all of you today.
Woo!
Truly. I've been working in Hollywood for a few years now, after leaving New York. Was here for 10 years. Been there since my 20s, so that's about 2006. Don't anybody fact check that. Anyway, I've walked my fair share of red carpets, but I have never seen a red carpet like this, because this is what it looks like when the people who actually run the world decide to throw their own party.
Exactly.
Right? We all know what's happening uptown tonight. We know.
Right.
There's one guy, one very big, very bald billionaire, who wants to make the Met Gala all about him.
Ew, boo.
And what's that even about? How did an event that's supposed to celebrate creativity, artistry, and fabulousness in all genders end up revolving around this Temu Lex Luthor?
Right. Oh, right.
Who profits off of pushing working people to their very brink? How did an event that is supposed to be about celebrating our culture become a vessel for one man's ego? Now, I've been to some awkward parties, but that is next level. I mean, it's really just sad. The man thinks he can buy cool.
Right.
For his wedding, he basically shut down the whole city of Venice, Italy. I'm like, hey, Jeff, that's climate change's job. Oh, you could do better than that. That was a solid joke. Thank you. We could do better than that. The Ball Without Billionaires
Woo!
is about flipping the script and putting working people back at the center of the culture. Gabriella, tell them exactly how we're going to do it.
Well, you know. Thank you, Lisa Ann.
You're welcome.
That's exactly right. We are here this morning because we know that culture doesn't trickle down from billionaires. It rises up from the people. Exactly. I've spent my career inside the fashion industry as a global fashion editor, writer, and stylist. I've seen the spaces where culture gets shaped and presented to the world. I also know how many stories go untold. Those who sew, those who build, those who serve, those who care. So this morning, we're telling the stories of the people who make everything else possible and declaring clearly and unapologetically that their labor is art. Today is about reclaiming the narrative, not just at Amazon, but everywhere across our economy, where working people are undervalued, underpaid, and underappreciated. So let those billionaires uptown have their Met party or whatever. Like, we're gonna do something way more fabulous down here.
Right.
Today, you're gonna meet more than 20 working people who work and organize across our economy at Amazon and beyond, whose labor is art. You'll hear their stories and what they're fighting for on the job and in their communities. As they walk down the runway, they're gonna show us how they're paving a path toward a better future. And when they're done, we're gonna walk that path with them. We begin our show at Amazon. Boo! One of the most profitable companies in the world, but where does that profit come from? Just a few weeks ago, the Attorney General of California sued Amazon, accusing the company of price fixing in a whole scheme that's increased the cost of pet food, diapers, clothing, and more. As a part of this scheme, when Amazon sees something offered for cheaper elsewhere on another site, they put pressure on retailers to force that other site to raise its prices. So what about that Prime discount now, Jeff?
Ew.
All of this, of course, begs the question, what's the real cost of Amazon? Amazon workers from across the country are here today to share how this company takes our health, our wealth, and our quality of life, but more importantly, they're here to show us what they're doing to stand up, fight back, and build something better for all of us. Yes, give it up. A receipt longer than a CVS one, girl.
It is the biggest CVS receipt I have ever seen.
And you know what? They're going to do their damn thing on this receipt.
Yeah, they are.
You have no idea what you are in store for. Amazing fashion, amazing pumping, amazing walking, all by workers, laborers, organizers, and the best that this city and across Grove has to offer.
We got...
So I hope you're ready.
How about a round of applause for these workers, huh? Doing a job out here, organizing, doing the thing.
Fabulous.
And you know what? I want to say, let's give a round of applause. I'm going to start it for all of you who came out today, who made this important in your day to support labor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. Our first walker is from Brooklyn.
Hey.
Please welcome Arlene Kingston, a proud Trinidadian immigrant, leader with the Amazon Labor Union, and a casual supermodel. Arlene is wearing a look from Cindy Castro, an Ecuadorian designer whose clothes are produced ethically and sustainably right in New York City. Arlene is 63 years old and has been working at JFK 8 Amazon warehouse on Staten Island since 2022, where she packs thousands of boxes a day.
Show them slower, Arlene.
Slow down. Get it down. The relentless pressure to meet quotas and work faster has left Arlene and her coworkers exhausted, in pain, wearing braces, ice packs just to make it through the week. So that's why Arlene and her coworkers formed the first ever union of Amazon warehouse workers just over the bridge on Staten Island. Give it up.
That's right.
At Amazon, workers are expected to move like machines and treated like they're disposable. Arlene is here today to say we are not numbers. We are not machines. We are people. Give it up. Okay, we got our walker number 2 up here. Up next from Raleigh, North Carolina, we have Mary Hill. Mary is an Amazon warehouse worker and the co-founder of Carolina Amazonians United for Solidarity and Empowerment, also known as CAUSE. Mary is wearing an outfit divined by Labyrinth Avenue, a brand founded by Bangladeshi-American designer Mahua Khan. At the Amazon Fulfillment Center where she works, Mary packs up to 200 boxes an hour. Not a day, an hour. And she does it inside a system Amazon designed to push workers past their limits. Mary co-founded CAUSE because she knows that organizing at one facility alone isn't going to bring Amazon to the table to address workplace safety. It's going to take everybody joining together, making a change. Give it up for CAUSE. Give it up for Miss Mary. Give it up for the organizers from the South. incredible? Auntie did not come to play. Keeping things going, this beautiful and one and only amazing Jaspreet Singh. Jaspreet is an Amazon warehouse worker from Sacramento. His outfit is also from Labyrinth Avenue. Jaspreet started at Amazon 3 years ago so he could provide for his mother who is disabled. He works a very physical job, moving supplies and pallets up for 60 hours a week. For warehouse workers, the rules are always changing and the pressure is always getting higher, but the low pay stays the same. Shocking when you consider the big boss is just a few blocks uptown splashing out millions for a damn party tonight. Jaspreet is Punjabi, and the Punjabi community is one of the largest workforces inside Amazon's California fulfillment centers. They show up, they work hard, and they're met with discrimination. They're passed over, talked down to, pushed out, not because of their hard work and performance, but because of who they are. Jaspreet and his coworkers are organizing together and fighting for a voice on the job through a union. Even though he's often exhausted after work, Jaspreet finds time to meet up and build power with coworkers, organize barbecues, and of course support his favorite teams, the Sacramento Kings and the San Francisco 49ers. Thank you for being here, Jaspreet, and for making our world a better place.
Our next three models have seen up close and personal what happens when a company is so obsessed with speed that it loses sight of what's most important, workplace safety. You better believe warehouse work is hard physical work, but it doesn't have to be dangerous work. In fact, the evidence points to this being a problem specifically at Amazon. Did you know that Amazon warehouse workers sustain serious injuries at twice the rate of other warehouses?
Boo!
That's not right. No. Let's learn more about our models. Florida is in the house.
Woo!
Up first is Samari Jamar Mercado from Deltona, who has worked in Amazon warehouses for 5.5 years.
Woo!
For years, she worked 10 hours a day, 6 days a week for up to 60 hours, lifting heavy items and working at a fast pace. For so long, it left Samari exhausted and in pain. She's not in pain now. Woo! She circulated a petition among her coworkers and filed an OSHA complaint about air quality in the facility, and Amazon had no choice but to respond quickly. Within days of delivering the petition, you better work.
Right.
Amazon hired a company to clean the AC units and get rid of the mold. She is here today to have a real impact and show others you don't have to be afraid to speak up.
Woo!
We are all fighting together. Workers can transform the culture. Samari's look is from Cindy Castro, and she says there needs to be justice for the working class, and we all deserve better pay and safer working conditions.
Woo!
Let's hear it for Samari.
I know that's right, Samari.
Walking now is April Dawn Watson from Jefferson, Georgia.
Woo!
She is an Amazon warehouse worker wearing a look by Labyrinth Ave. With 4+ years of experience inside an Amazon warehouse, April has seen firsthand the intense physical demands placed on workers. 10-hour shifts, relentless productivity rates, and intense pressure that puts workers in unsafe situations. You're doing great, girl. You're doing great.
Yes.
After being hurt on the job multiple times, including a shoulder injury and a concussion, April has been speaking out about the need for safer conditions, especially for older workers. After management ignored her safety concerns, April filed a complaint with OSHA about Amazon's lack of medical response and the physical intensity of the work. Not surprisingly, the company started retaliating against her.
Boo!
But she did not back down.
Yes!
She has a pending OSHA complaint. She is fighting to make Amazon and all warehouses safer workers and more sustainable for the environment. Give it up for April.
Yes, April!
Ash Judd is a leader with the Missouri Workers Center who works at an Amazon warehouse in St. Peters, Missouri. He is wearing a design from Labyrinth Ave. Ash knows what it means to fight on multiple fronts. for higher pay, safer conditions, and for workers with disabilities to be treated with dignity and not pushed out.
Come on, Ash.
Amazon spends millions trying to make workers feel isolated and replaceable. Ash spends their time proving that wrong. Every single day, Ash and their co-workers have been fiercely fighting back and showing that it is workers who have the real power to fight back and make change. Thank you so much, Ash, for being here. But wait, what's going on now?
Oh.
The boss is stepping onto the runway?
Boo!
Our models have worked their tails off. They put up with long shifts. They've gotten injured and worked through those injuries all because the boss is telling them, work harder, work faster. These bosses want speed over safety, but workers like Samari, April, and Ash, look at him, he's got a whip.
Come on now.
They have a clear demand. They are demanding safety over speed.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. When they come together and build community with their co-workers, they are winning. Let's cheer them on.
April said, I'm the captain now. Let's give it up one more time for those workers demanding safety over speed. Next up, let's talk about how the cost of Amazon spreads beyond the warehouse and creeps into all of our lives in different ways. Amazon is a surveillance company, an immigration enforcement company, a fossil fuel company too. Thank you. From the warehouse floor to your front door to the data centers going up in our neighborhoods, Amazon's reach touches every single one of our lives. And today, the people fighting back on every single one of these fronts are here on this runway. Woo! So let's get into it. Paging Dickie to the runway, Dickie Reniki. Here from Brooklyn. Dickie is a software developer at Amazon. Their outfit is by Cindy Castro. Dickie knows that the impersonal quantity over quality culture at Amazon does not stop at the warehouse door.
No.
In fact, it reaches to the tech floor. Amazon has laid off Dickie's teammates and forced developers to use AI to meet unrealistic coding quotas. And that is the same AI that is being used to track immigrants. As a leader with Amazon Employees for Climate Justice, Dickie has taken action to demand no AI with dirty energy, no AI without employee voices, and no AI for violence, surveillance, or deportation. Dickie says, and I quote, "We aren't standing idly by as Amazon's leadership lines their pockets while destroying our future. And we're urging our coworkers at Amazon and across big tech to join us." Let's give Big Dickie a round of applause. Woo! Woo! Next, we have the flawless Alexia Monserrato Salvaz walking, an activist with Make the Road New York, wearing Cindy Castro. The true definition of a fighter, Alexia was forced to leave her home in Mexico for being exactly who she is.
Yes.
And you are fabulous, honey.
Fabulous.
She came here and she organized. Today, she is naming what Amazon won't. Amazon is handing data to ICE to hunt down immigrant families. Amazon powers ICE operations every single day, and they just invested $50 billion to give the Trump administration even more power to do it. But trans and immigrant communities have never waited for permission to resist.
No, they haven't.
They set the standard for joyfulness, fearless, powerful organizing. Alexia is proof. Today, Alexia is here to call out companies like Amazon that directly support the brutal operations of ICE and Palantir, and to take a stand for immigrant workers who keep Amazon in our country up and running. Thank you, Alexia. Next up, we have Angelita Soriano coming to us all the way from Hobart, Indiana. She is a mother of two, a climate activist, and community organizer with no data centers. Angelita is wearing Saltai Studio. Saltai is a woman-owned and operated brand out of New York. Okay, you better slow down, girl, because you are eating it up.
Go ahead, mama. Looking good, mama.
When Angelita first learned Amazon's plans to build a hyperscale data center across the street from her home, she immediately began to organize.
No.
She got to stop the monstrosity, girl. In less than 1 year, Angelita showed the power of community, connection, and positive energy. And she did it all looking like this. Angelita has built a movement of thousands of residents who are advocating for transparency, accountability, and a safe future for their family and children. As a part of this incredible effort, she's helped file a lawsuit against Amazon to stop the development of the center. She has a clear message for Jeff Bezos. I
love this.
If you want a data center so badly, you build it in your own backyard.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Period.
Next up is Maricruz Delgadillo, wearing a look by Saltai. Mary Cruz comes from Moreno Valley, California, one of the most populated regions in America and home to over 40 Amazon warehouses. Mary Cruz is one of 12,000 Amazon workers in her region who have organized with the Teamsters to demand a contract with fair pay, safe jobs, and dignity. She marched on the bus, she raised the alarm on safety, and outside of work builds mutual aid in the same communities Amazon is polluting. She is a leader, and she is here to save us all.
Woo, woo, woo. All right, the next stop in our story is all the other ways that Amazon and Bezos have grabbed control over different parts of our economy and communities. From our news to our groceries to our data, what does Jeff Bezos not have his hands on besides ethics and personal accountability? First up, we're starting with the First Amendment, which is basically the final girl in a slasher film at this point. She's still alive, but she's a little bloody, and nobody is sure if she's going to make it. Let's meet Jack Nugent and Hazel Court, who up until a few months ago were tech workers at the Washington Post, my hometown paper.
Wow.
Back when it was famous for exposing government corruption like Watergate. Their outfits are by Ricardo Deshawn, a black-owned clothing label from Maryland.
Woo!
You know, at the Washington Post, they have a saying that democracy dies in the darkness. Well, I feel like it's more like the fascists that are in the dark like mold. But I'm not sure how to square that saying with what we've seen in the last year. Jeff Bezos' Washington Post laid off nearly half of its journalists this year and closed foreign bureaus across the globe. On top of that, Bezos laid off 76 tech workers at the Post, including Jack and Hazel.
Oh!
While they were bargaining for their first union contract.
Oh, hell no.
Like so many former Post reporters and tech workers, Jack and Hazel refused to stay silent. They are here today because a free press does not belong to billionaires.
Woo!
It belongs to the workers who build it every single day. It belongs to us. Jack has one message for the owner of that paper. The only time I want to speak to Jeff Bezos is when we are negotiating a union contract.
Woo, child. I know that's right.
And as a proud vice president of my union, SAG-AFTRA LA Local,
Woo!
I say bravo. Thanks, Jack and Hazel. Next, I'm so excited to introduce Mal McGrath and Alexandra Piper from Philadelphia.
Woo, Philly!
Go Philadelphia. They're here to proudly represent UFCW Local 1776. Mal and Piper's looks today are from Abakashi, an Indian-American designer, Sheena Sood.
Work. Yes, mama.
Now, I know a thing or two about Philly, and I know that Philly Union members are tough.
Yes.
As the original Union town, Philadelphia.
Yes.
No surprise, then, that Mal and Piper, their co-workers, made history as the first Whole Foods store to ever win a union election.
Woo!
Yes!
Yes!
Let's give it up for that. And what did Bezos do? Bezos refused to negotiate.
Oh.
Over a year later, Amazon is delaying responses to workers' demands. All the while, Whole Foods workers get paid $17 an hour,
Oh,
while Bezos makes $8 million an hour.
get out of here. Go
Jeff
home.
Bezos may own businesses all across the economy, but he is no match for the power of workers like Mal and Piper. Let's give it up for them.
Yes, Mal. Yes, Piper. Oh, I'm so inspired in this room today.
Right?
Yes.
All these people doing the hard work.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you, Mal and Piper.
Yes. Okay, so as you may know, this spot right here in the meatpacking district was a place where working people came together to build unions in the face of grueling conditions, low pay, dangerous work. And, of course, this is sacred ground for the queer community. It has always
where I
had-
used to hang out. When I lived
Exactly.
here.
And so you know it was lit if Lisa was over there.
Oh, we were partying.
Right. It has belonged to the fierce, the fabulous, and the ones they tried to erase. Trans women, queer people of color, who made this neighborhood a sanctuary when no one else would have them. Ballroom culture, the walk, the categories, the lineage. This is resistance and celebration all at once. So now, bringing the ballroom to this ball without billionaires, let's give it up for an original performance from the boutique house of Martine Rose. Woo, 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 woo. Oh my, chills.
I mean,
Genius.
wait, is there more?
Full body.
There's more.
Right. Oh. Wow. Right.
Do it pretty. Do it beautiful.
Exactly.
Yes.
Ooh. You better work.
Yes.
Nasty.
Their bow tie.
Oh, she not playing. She not playing.
No.
Right. Uh-huh. Right.
Yep. Yes.
Oh.
And that's on that.
Heaven. Woo! Oh, give it up.
Ooh, there's more.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clap it up. Come on, everybody. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. Come on. Get a party here downtown today.
Ha, 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 ha. Right. Uh-huh.
Beautiful. Yes.
Oh, give it up for the boutique house of
Period.
Martine Rose.
Yeah, you know what they did not have uptown today?
Right.
The house of Martine Rose.
Exactly.
They did not have that.
Full body chills. There is really
Another round of applause.
nothing better. There really is just something so special when folks who have been written out of history on the runway, in the boardroom, in the story, decide to show up anyway and redefine the stage entirely, especially when it involves a sickening death drop. Are you kidding?
On concrete.
On concrete.
All right, folks, we are just past the halfway point of our show. If Jeff Bezos was here, he'd make us all go back to work. But he's not.
Good.
We've learned about the real cost of Amazon, and we've met the incredible people across the country who are joining together to do something about it. Next up, we are going to meet some incredible workers who are taking power into their own hands at workplaces across the economy. These workers know there's at least one thing more powerful than any billionaire, besides a menopausal woman, and it is, thank you again, that deserved a much bigger laugh. No, I don't want it now. One thing more powerful than a billionaire, and it's a union.
Yes.
All right, let's meet them. First, we have Jordan Weiss, who is a doorman here in New York City.
Woo!
And a proud member and leader with his union, 32 BJ SEIU. Jordan works on Billionaires Row on the Upper East Side. He has himself seen the enormous amount of wealth that a small group of people in the city have. Today, Jordan is wearing an outfit from Ida the Label. Ida the Label is named after founder Melchor Chado's grandmother, Ita, who spent years working in New York City's garment industry after immigrating from Puerto Rico. Through the power of their union, Jordan and thousands of other doormen in the city just negotiated with luxury landlords and won an amazing union contract that includes pay raises, free health care, pension contribution, and other great benefits. Jordan interacts with Amazon workers every day, and he knows that they deserve the same protections and benefits that he has. Yeah. He says Jeff Bezos is not going to give these workers the dignity and respect they deserve. That's why Amazon workers need a union.
Woo!
Thank you, Jordan. Next up is Kai Fritz, a Starbucks barista who lives and works in Brooklyn.
Yes, Kai.
Kai's look is also by Ida the Label. Kai and baristas across the country have made history through their union, Starbucks Workers United.
Woo!
Baristas have won union elections at nearly 700 locations across the country and have organized 12,000 workers to win a contract and a better future at Starbucks. Their fight for higher wages, better staffing, and an end to discrimination has inspired young workers across the country to take action and stand up against billionaires and crooked CEOs. At Starbucks, Amazon, and beyond, Gen Z workers like Kai are inspiring workers everywhere. They are writing the next chapter of history, not Jeff Bezos.
Yes!
Thank you, Kai, for being here. Walker number 3 is from Queens.
Woo!
By way of Miami, Norma Pierre-Paul is a home care worker and proud member of SEIU 1199. Norma is wearing a look from Ida the Label, As a caregiver, Norma supports her mother and 2 other patients for whom she is family away from family.
Okay.
Her job is to not only provide quality care, but compassion and love. Norma is passionate about providing care to our elders. Through her union, she is fighting alongside other home care workers to be recognized as the skilled healthcare professionals that they are.
Woo!
For Norma, artists and caretakers are not that different. Both professions pour all their hearts into their work, and the result is a product of love. Norma's message to other workers is, when we join together, tell our stories, and build community, we can build more power than a billionaire could ever buy.
Yeah.
Give it up for Norma.
Woo!
Domingo Castillo is Dominican-born designer, tailor, and organizer based in Boston.
Woo!
His outfit is by Ida the Label. A lifelong artist, Domingo began studying clothing design at 8 years old in the DR. Looking good, Poppy. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Look at that. Stunning.
That's right. He went on to become a senior tailor at age 22, building a celebrated career dressing musicians, community leaders, and politicians across Puerto Rico and the Dominican community in Boston. All right,
Yes,
Poppy.
yes.
To supplement his independent design work, he began driving for rideshare platforms. After being unfairly deactivated, he channeled that experience into action and became a leader in the App Drivers Union, backed by 32BJ SEIU.
Yes.
Domingo sees art and labor as deeply connected. He says we are all born with art and creativity. Life and struggle sometimes leaves that passion behind, but for those who don't give up, art is always something beautiful to share.
That's right.
Thank you, Domingo. Representing Queens,
Woo!
Shantiera DeBarry is a security officer here in New York
Right.
and a member of 32BJ SEIU. She is rocking a look from Ida the Label.
Woo!
Oh, that color.
Gorgeous.
Shantiera is a proud single mother of a 7-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy. Her happy place is between the pages of a Harry Potter book or cooking a yummy food for her family.
Woo!
Shantiera takes pride in her work she does every day to keep people safe.
Yes. You better work, girl.
She is also proud to be a unionist. Her union helped her win thousands of dollars in back pay after her employer skimped on her paychecks. Shantiera knows that it is important to share your culture and tell your story. By sharing her Muslim faith, she has helped debunk hateful stereotypes, build community, and expand understanding. She sees hard work as a beautiful expression of abstract art. Sometimes it is hard to define, but it's always touching. Let's hear it for Shantiera.
Woo!
Oh my goodness, we are now at chapter 6.
There we go. And next up, we have a very special treat for you. Everybody we've met today works hard as hell. There's nothing easy about these jobs. But as we all know, we're here today because in labor, there's joy. In labor, there's community. And in labor, there is love. Let's meet Lamont and Latrice, who are fighting for justice and discovering love along the way. First up, representing Brooklyn, Lamont Hopewell is a delivery driver and Teamster Local 804 member. He is a proud father of 2. His look is also from Labyrinth Avenue. Lamont worked as a delivery driver for an Amazon subcontractor out of the DBK4 facility in Queens. He drove the routes, moved the packages, kept the whole operation running. When he and his co-workers went on strike for safer conditions and cleaner trucks, over 100 of them were fired. Lamont lost that job. But you know that Lamont did not lose the fight.
No.
He is still here. He is still organizing. He is showing up for all of us and all of the workers in the city. Thank you so much, Lamont. Let's give it up. Oh, it just keeps getting better and better. From Queens, we have Latrice Johnson. Yes, Latrice, an Amazon delivery driver and a proud member of Teamsters Local 804. She is wearing a look by Cindy Castro, and she is eating the girls up in the look. Wow. When she organized her coworkers, she got fired for it. And here she is today, still fighting for what's right. Latrice is walking today for her 10-year-old daughter, who is everything to her. She wants her daughter to see what it looks like when her mama does not give up.
No, ma'am.
Latrice knows one thing for certain. The only way drivers get a real voice is through a union.
Yep.
And she will keep fighting until every single worker has one. And for that, we say, go ahead, queen. Thank you so much, Latrice. You better work, honey.
Taking the runway next, we are welcome to honor three powerful voices fighting for pregnancy justice, all representing a fantastic organization called Warehouse Life that has helped women at Amazon stand up against a system that harms and pushes out pregnant workers.
Oh!
What should have been one of the most joyful experiences of their lives was stolen by Amazon. And personally, as a mother of four, because my hoo-ha is a clown car, I deeply appreciate their advocacy. Thank you.
You are too much.
First, from Long Island City, we have Aisha Steele, who spent 4 years working at an Amazon warehouse in Queens.
Okay, Miss Thing.
The dynamic at her job changed quickly when she announced her pregnancy. Amazon made it difficult for her to get accommodations, take time off to go to the hospital, or navigate an unsympathetic HR system. They ended up firing Aisha. I'm sorry, it's Alicia. Please excuse me. In her second trimester. Today, Alicia is telling her story and joining forces with workers across the country to demand Amazon change its policies around pregnancy. She is fighting so no worker has to choose between their job, their health, and their family. Her outfit is by advocacy.
Woo!
You stay right there, Alicia. Joining her is Kiesia Hollis from Newcastle, Delaware.
Woo!
Her outfit also by advocacy. Kiesia is here to advocate for pregnant workers and live her childhood dream of being on stage.
Yes, Miss Girl!
Kiesia worked 2 stints at Amazon, both of which ended because of pregnancy. Like they do with so many pregnant workers, Amazon made their HR and accommodation process confusing and cumbersome. No one ever gave her straight answers or updates on her paperwork. The stress was overwhelming for Kiesia, especially during a high-risk pregnancy. Now she is using her voice to make sure other pregnant women don't experience the same mistreatment. Kiesia's message for Jeff Bezos and other billionaires: I'm more than a number. I'm a person. I have feelings, aspirations, and goals.
Yes, Kiesia!
Period. Rounding out this amazing trio is Marley Lewis from LaGrange, Kentucky, wearing a look from Atashi, a gender-fluid brand from Walter J. Dixon.
Oh! Oh, yes, Miss Thing!
Yes. Ooh, look at her crown.
Right.
Marley worked at Amazon as a ship clerk, which meant a lot of heavy lifting in a demanding environment. The work took a major toll on her health, especially after she became pregnant. She has seen how Amazon treats expecting mothers with callousness, confusion, and a complete lack of sympathy.
Word.
Marley is demanding Amazon implement a policy for pregnant workers that allows accommodations, time off as needed, changes to job duties, and more. She wants Amazon to do more than bare minimum and be a model employer for pregnant workers.
Woo!
Oh, here we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh no. Oh, no.
Oop.
Okay.
Time after time, Amazon told these 3 incredible women, get back to work.
They did.
Well, they were messing with the wrong ones.
Yeah.
Along with other powerful women, they've branded together and told their stories and launched a movement for pregnancy justice inside of Amazon. So let's close the show with one more reminder. Their labor, just like the labor of everybody we've met today, is art. And I'm talking about the kind of art we should be celebrating and fundraising for and fighting like hell to protect.
Thank you. Oh, that's you.
Oh,
Go ahead.
thank you to these incredible women who are fighting for a better future for parents, children, and workers everywhere. Everyone, let's stand up and give these powerful moms their flowers. Throw your flowers, everyone. This is you. I think it's you.
That's me. And let's hear it one more time for all of our amazing models, dancers, and designers.
Woo!
Come on out, everybody.
Yes! Incredible! Look at these fabulous people!
Thank you.
Gorgeous! Eating down for the girls! Wow!
Thank you all for telling Bezos, or as I like to call him, a Q-tip with a yacht, that nobody's story is for sale. Labor is art. And art is happening right here, right now.
Woo!
This is the ball without billionaires.
Yes!
We invite you all to dance with us.
We did it.
Go ahead. Thank you so much to everyone who made this event happen and to those who walked the runway. And a special thanks
Woo!
to all workers everywhere who keep our economy running and keep our culture vibrant and alive.
Let's hear it one more time for our workers, and thank you for attending the Ball Without Billionaires! I love it. I'm trying to sing now. Do now is take these lies and make them true somehow. Oh, we're falling down. We're falling down.
Don't belong to you and don't belong to me.